Hello there. GM Lurch Lurchington here with another episode of Star Wars Showdown on Iceball Station. So, Zeef, you are done slinking your way back around to the city streets of Fishtown. You see that the stormtroopers are continuing to move from door to door, speaking to the occupants of the houses.
Right.
You realize that they're going to find what they're looking for soon enough, because one of their vehicles is right over there by Gaz's, nearby to where you stashed the body. As you nonchalantly begin heading your way back towards the detective agency, let's say, your comm chime as Worram calls over to you.
Right.
You just saw him do his flyby a few minutes before.
Yeah, Worm is I'm just gonna say is kind of braggy right now, and is like, "Hey Zeef, you see me, this guy up there?
That was Yusa? Nice!
Got that Griffin thing working."
Wow. Yeah, Yusa going very fast, very shiny. Making the rest of the pilots look bad out here.
It's a beautiful ship. Can't wait to put it into really through its paces.
Misa, glad you called, actually. Heading back over to the detective agency right now. Wanted to check on the status of the speeder, see if we could maybe salvage it, get it running. Would you want to join me?
Worm is almost gleeful in his reply that yes, he would be ecstatic to rescue said speeder from its tomb under the rubble.
Worm feels like he could accomplish anything right now, and
Right.
with his longer stride, he is only a few minutes behind you at arriving, as he bounds past the stormtroopers guarding the gates of the expat club, and turns off to meet you coming the other way down the street. You see him just turning the corner as you're coming up. There's still a couple of Aqualesh sitting on the stoop in front of the front door, keeping an eye on the alley back towards the garage. The stormtroopers who were standing them off the other day have moved on at this point. And as you approach, the brother of the widow, whose husband's death started this whole ball rolling, comes over and lets you know that the bucket heads were poking around.
I was about to ask.
They moved them on before they noticed anything. He said some pinch-faced bitch in all black came nosing around too, but there'd been enough snowfall and traffic coming through that
She didn't get
she
anything?
didn't see nothing.
Nice.
Exactly.
That's good
Yeah,
at least.
he shakes your hand with a huge, hairy, paw and claps you on the shoulder and goes, "You get the Griffin bastards who did this to your place, to my brother-in-law. When the time comes, you just let me and the brothers know, all right?
Zeef,
They had enough guys to do this to your place. Well, we'll burn them out of whatever nest they're in."
Rounding up the posse.
Zeef looks the brother square in the eyes and very seriously says, "Yusa got it."
Excellent.
No humor in his face, just like, "Yusa got it. Like, we're gonna get these guys."
Cool. Worm comes up on you guys after this, and they, move aside so that you guys can head in and check out the place. It's cold. Power has been off for 2 days now, since things shorted out at during the fight there.
Not to mention, some sections are now probably open air, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There
Sure,
was a
it's-
tarp.
At the very
stretched
least, it was
across.
drafty. Yeah, definitely in the
Yeah,
garage.
there were
with
some
the
tarps stretched across.
holes that what's his
Exactly.
name blew. Yeah.
Yeah, the doors
Inside
to the rooms upstairs are all still secured, though, and the place was never looted, but the bottom floor is as cold as a tomb as you guys come in. The lights come back on, though, and when you make your way back to the garage, you see that all three of the engines back there at the rear of the speeder have been crushed by some of the rubble from the
Okay.
garage door. All came down out of the ceiling and part of the door frame there where the explosives went off. And also the explosives themselves caused some damage.
So we're talking
and
replace,
also-
not repair for those thrusters.
No, you could probably. Gorm's gonna have to get.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get the debris
Wait, I
off
was
them
thinking it was
and make
more
some
like,
mechanics check.
Gotcha.
Or just from his description, I was thinking more like it fell around it and like, kind of like,
Oh, I was
It
thinking.
came down on top and wrapped around. You're gonna have to
Wrapped
make some
around,
physical
like, yeah.
checks to move that stuff
it
off.
off.
See, I didn't
and
think of
then
that. I thought the rubble was
it's
immovable and
moving,
it
like-
caved in the engine, like the engine wrapped around the rubble kind of thing.
Nah,
That's what I
rubble
was
came
imagining.
down on top of those engine pods
Okay,
and
cool.
has
So it's
covered
just
them.
it's just a question of dislodging it.
exactly.
Probably is some damage, but not like,
Yeah, the engines are designed so that the engine mounts will break before the engines themselves take enough damage to be destroyed. Also, so it'll
if
be
we
fixable.
if we use
It's a
four
hardened
hands to lift
speeder.
a single object, one of us does a strength check and the other one gives a boost, right? That's how it works.
Yes, unless
Okay.
you guys want to do skilled assistance, because if the person with more brawn does not have more athletics,
Coordination.
the other person can share across
I'm
their
most
skill rank.
positive Zeef is better than me.
I
in
have
both
3
athletics.
brawn and 2 golds and a green for
Yeah,
athletics.
you're better
so-
than me.
Okay. So it'll be 2 golds and a green, and the boost from Worram. You don't have like any winches or hoists back here. It's not that kind of machine shop, He's just got tools, so you don't have any sort of mechanical assistance, unless you guys want to use a destiny point to have, some winches and stuff like that. And then you do.
I think my stats are honestly strong enough to just beast it.
All right. Well,
with a
it
boost
is
from
going to
Worram.
be 3 purples. There
Okay.
are 2 setbacks from how cripping cold it is in here, even with your coat,
Okay.
and the heaters having been turned back on for a moment. So
And a
there will
boost
be
from Worram?
and a boost from Worram.
Okay.
Yes. So 3 purples, 2 setbacks, and a boost from Worram, and your athletics, because it is strength, not coordination, to muscle this stuff off of
So
the back
just
of
a
the speeder.
final confirmation, YYG, PPP, SSB.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right, here we go.
Do you want to use a destiny point? Nope.
Yeah,
Okay. So you guys muscle
probably should.
on things, and you take a strain, Zeef rather, from
Okay.
muscling on this, but you guys are not able to dislodge all of this rubble. When the garage door came down first, and then the rubble came down on it, it banged this garage door around these engine mounts.
I actually got an idea for the failure, if you're cool
Okay.
with it.
Sure.
How about it's like snow and everything is like gotten in the like cracks of the rubble and it's like frozen a little bit, like so
Yeah, you
that's
guys
like-
can't get it
like
off.
so we can't like get like an individual piece that's like all frozen into like
Yeah.
like us like
Came down and wrapped around it, and then it
now
has
it's been
just
solidified
been
by the
exposed to the
ice.
elements.
frozen into like a solid chunk of
Yeah, so this you're gonna need tools and to actually like cut this stuff off of it.
Mhm.
You're gonna need a fusion cutter, and you're gonna need a couple hours and probably a winch, to actually like do this. You guys can't just manhandle it. The house is not gonna collapse. Like, you're back in it now at this point, and when you left that night, you guys had thought, with all the explosions that had gone off, at least Zeef had been of the mind that, like, it's going to come back to a rubble pile. And the place is still standing and, relatively secure.
Question.
Yes.
Can Zeef step out front, grab the Aqualish and his boys, and have them add all of their strength checks to trying to lift this thing?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
We could build this barn Amish style.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great idea.
Definitely.
Okay, so Zeef is gonna kind of meander back out to the front of the building and motion over
And
to
see how many guys
to
they
the
can round up. Absolutely.
Well, he's gonna get the Aqualish brother that he just spoke to and explain to him what he needs and be like, "Hey, we need some big muscles. You know
You're
anybody?"
gonna make a leadership check, Zeef.
Okay.
Leadership? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he's going to make a leadership check. It's going to be only an average difficulty.
Okay.
Again, you're going to have one setback because you're fucking freezing right now.
Ugh.
So he says, honestly, boss, if you're here, I cut a lot of the guys loose. You know, we've been standing watch nights.
I get it, man. Misa not, man.
You got an advantage, though, so he says he'll stick around and he's going to help. So you can go make that check again
Fuck it,
with
I'll
an
take
additional boost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one,
you know,
one extra body on that
but
thing.
he
Let's
is
give it
not
one
going to
more
be
try.
able to, you know, he says, honestly, the boys aren't going to really be good for anything for a day or two with those 3 failures, you know?
No,
so if you're ready
fair.
to round up the posse, let us get our heads down first for 36 hours.
So, and can I do maybe like a rummage and see if I can find like a plasma cutter or a fusion torch or something in the while he's outside doing the
Yeah, definitely. That's more than just a
leadership.
simple tool. So go ahead and make a check, you know,
Okay.
to actually like do a rummage.
Perception or
Yeah, perception check. You know, they've been standing guard, but the place was all blown to shit during the fight, so stuff might be damaged. So
like,
it'll be a hard difficulty.
Yeah, so I'm like, I know I should have one in here, but then like everything, all my tools got, you know,
hard with the
around the
setbacks from the cold to actually find what you know should be right here.
Not great at perception though, so we'll see how this goes.
No, man, this place is all your toolboxes in here were in the line of fire when that second wall came down, and the entire shelving unit with all your toolboxes went across the floor when Gil made that second hole in the wall. And you take a strain from being out here in the cold.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. But then Zeef comes back in with the other Aqualash brothers, so you guys can try that athletics check again against 3 purples and 2 setbacks, but this time you've got 2 boosts, Zeef, instead of just 1. And if you'd like to use a destiny point, you guys do have 2, and you can
let's spend one of those.
Make your last green will become a yellow instead.
You want to pop one of those?
Oh yeah, you want to pop a gun jack?
You've been carrying for the whole campaign.
Now is exactly the time to use some gun jack and increase your strength also, and give yourself
What's my strain threshold? I'm at 0. I'm at 0 strain, right? Still.
Yeah.
I didn't take any strain hiding that body. Are we sure about that?
I mean, let me look at the tracking sheet.
According to this, I don't have any strain.
You were at 2.
You
have 2 strain out of 11.
You're at 2, yeah. That's what I have. Yeah, 2 out of
11.
So
you can definitely pop a gun jack. Hell, Worram can even stim you to boost your strength again.
I was actually thinking that first, but then I was like, what's more likely, that he would let me stim him, or that he would just rail us a thing of spice?
I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll rail one. Maybe just a little bump.
Yeah, so take a bump of gun jack. Worram can even stim you if you want, and that doesn't take a destiny point.
Okay, how does that affect my stats for this dice roll, for the purposes of this strength check?
So if you do the bump, are you also getting stimmed by Worram?
I think that's excessive. I'll just do a quick bump.
So you do a bump, you take however many strain that does, and what it does is it increases your brawn by 1. So you flip the destiny.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Okay. And you flip the destiny point, so you're rolling yellow, 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 green, boost, against purple, 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 setback. I'm flipping the destiny point now, Worram, but I don't know how to do the strain. I don't know how much strain he gets for doing a bump either.
All right. Let's try.
Does that gun jack work, Zeef? How much strain do you take?
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, let me scroll and find it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
I don't want to tell you.
You're
gonna push me to my limit.
Gun jack, spice, +1 brawl until the end of the encounter. Upgrades difficulty of agility, intellect, and cunning related skills until the end of session. End of description.
Okay, so it increases the difficulty
of agility, cunning, and
so
intellect.
It becomes 4 purples, but
it becomes harder to think clearly, but all physical tasks are a little bit easier.
So it's actually better if you get stimmed by Worram.
Yeah, all right, I'll stim
You've already done a bump.
All right.
Yeah.
When did I already do a bump?
Your thing. Well, we can. Yeah, we can. So yeah, because we haven't.
Sure.
So it's definitely better if Worram stims you because it won't increase the difficulty of the task.
Okay, go ahead.
You take out the spice. So Zeef takes out his spice to do a bump of gun jack, and Worram puts out a big hand on his hands and goes, no, because when you do that, you get all crazy, and you're just going to attack this thing instead. And he pulls out his hypo spray instead. So go ahead and make your medicine check to give him a hypo to increase his strength instead, because he'll remain clear-headed.
It's going to get a failure with despair, and it's going to kill me.
Tackle it.
No.
And I will do...
Big Street Fighter Turbo on it.
I'll do the harder one for this, too.
Okay.
So that it'll be less strain for Zeef because it's a harder check for you. Okay. Yeah, because I just realized the gun jack increasing the agility definitely makes it better for punching somebody and not for actually doing like physical feats.
Oh, I guess I don't have.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't increase my agility. It increases the difficulty of my agility checks.
Well, it increases your brawn though, also. So
Right.
it would add a green to your agility checks, but it also adds a purple.
I hear
Oh,
you.
you don't have advanced, so you just have the basic one. Okay.
I just have the basic. STEM
Okay.
application.
So you make a average medicine check, and if you succeed, Zeef gets +1 brawn, but takes some strain. But he also doesn't.
Be the
So you
setbacks,
get the positive. There are still the setbacks from the cold. Yes.
which is what, 2?
2.
Not 3 without environmental gear, right?
Right. He's wearing environmental gear as well.
Right. I just wanted to make sure because I had 2
But it would be
setbacks.
3
I have
without.
on my new jacket, my new brown coat. Medicine. I don't think I can have any other ones though.
And your tea wore off from this morning. Okay, so you take a strain, but you skim Zeef. Zeef takes 4 strain instead of the 3 he took previously.
Okay.
And then he gets the plus to brawn, but it does not increase the difficulty of his checks. So you'll roll yellow, 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 green, boost, boost, purple, 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 setback, setback. By the time and you guys succeed at lifting all this shit off there. Zeef, with the skins coursing through your veins and the assistance of Worram and this Aqualesh, you guys are able to muscle this frozen rubble off the engines of the speeder and throw it out through the tarp that's been hanging over the back of the garage.
Nice.
Where it lands in the snow. Now Worram will be able to get access to the speeder and, get it running with some work.
Okay.
Ooh, we should have brought Stomper down here with us so he could hook up to it and give it like a battery recharge.
But
because you haven't used him, he can be with Zavik.
That's true.
So,
okay. So I should be at 6 strain currently?
Yes. Right? Encouragingly, well, actually, I have a bunch of destiny points, so I'm going to flip one right now and say that discouragingly, once the rubble is thrown, lifted clear of the back of the speeder and tossed off, it does not bob back up off of the garage floor on its repulsor lift as one would expect it to do. It remains sitting inert on the deck. Yeah, and I flipped a dark side point because I had plenty of them to do that. So we're going to leave you guys standing here over your cold speeder.
Right before the camera pulls away,
sure.
Zeef does a very exaggerated, look all the way down to the floor, then look back up at it, then look down, then look up. You're like, something's wrong. It's not hovering. What is this? He does it back and forth a whole bunch.
And,
excellent.
I'm just this is really what I'm dealing with again.
This
guy.
The euphoria begins to fade. I know it's not
Yeah, exactly.
Replaced by the familiar curses.
Replaced by reality comes crashing back in, and the camera pulls away. That's the end of the session tonight, guys. Catch y'all next week.